I'm Sam of Stitchy Sam here on FlossTube, but also on Instagram. Welcome to my channel and welcome back to those that are returning to view my FlossTube. Thank you for spending the time with me. Thanks especially to all the new subscribers. I really appreciate that. And I hope you continue to enjoy what you see. When I was preparing for this video, I realised that March actually marks my FlossTube anniversary. So it's my first one, and to mark the occasion I'm going to be doing a giveaway later on in the video, so please stick around to see that, and I hope you can join in with the celebrations. But March has really been, this month, it's been all about my March Stitchy Madness. Now I do have a separate video running through the quarterfinals and the semi-finals, but for the purposes of this video, for those that haven't seen it, I'm going to run through the designs that were knocked out of the quarters and the semi-finals again, but not going into too much detail regarding that, because I'm sure you're all dying to know who was the winner out of the final. That was decided this week. I've not announced it on Instagram because I wanted it to be exclusive to this video for at least a little while, for probably about a week, and then I'll announce it again for my followers on Instagram. So I'm also going to be talking about my focus piece, which is Mario Pose. I've made progress on that. I've also got some haul to share with you, and including a design which I was actually asked to test by the designer. I've yet to start it, but I want to open the package with you so you can see what's included in the kit. And also I'm going to tell you about my plans for April. So jam-packed video today. I will have the chapter details down below, so you can skip to the sections which interest you the most. So qualifier 1 was Australia Adventures versus Made to Create. Made to Create won, so Australia Adventures was knocked out. So just as a reminder, Australia Adventures is a design by Caterpillar Cross Stitching. It's a map of Australia and New Zealand. I stitched the koala and I can't remember what this is called, a possum I think it is, and started this building, so made a little bit of progress there, and so I do enjoy that. And actually I thought this one was going to win, but it didn't. And I will show you Made to Create a bit later on. So you'll have to just try and work out, where do you think Made to Create got to? If you're part of Instagram, you will know who got through to the semi-finals and the finals, but there we go. For those that haven't, are not part of my Instagram or haven't seen the previous video, then you may not. So come and enjoy the ride with me. So the next quarterfinal was Hello Holly, also by Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and Spring Rabbit. Spring Rabbit won that duel. And here is Made to Create. So this this is Hello Holly, sorry. So this is Hello Holly by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. There we go. And this month this is a cell that I'm working on. It's an informal cell. I worked on the trunk and a couple of the leaves up here and these berries. I actually think the berries look quite effective actually. So So yeah, so that was sadly knocked out in the quarterfinals. I did want to stitch a bit more on that, but I'll come back to that a bit later in my plans. Okay, I'm not going to fold everything up and put it back in the bags right now because I don't think you want to see me doing that. And the next quarterfinal was Bookshelf 2023 versus Frogs Kissing, and the frogs were knocked out. I was really surprised at this. But here is Frogs Kissing by Heaven and Earth Designs on 25 count magic guide, but you wouldn't know that because it's heavily faded. And here are my frogs. Yeah, so you can see that. I'll put it closer so you can see that. So it's Frogs Kissing. So that was knocked out. So this month I worked on, it's all Royal Rose. I worked on this sort of area here. So I'm working along that current row. And I'm really enjoying it. There are some gaps there because I need to dig out some additional floss or thread for that one. So I'll pack that one away later as well. Oh, sorry, I've got whips going everywhere. And the final quarterfinal was Sally Squirrel by Gecko Rouge and the Melica Mystery Cell. And actually the Mystery Cell won that quarterfinal. So Sally Squirrel was knocked out again. I was quite surprised. This one, so as I said before, it's Gecko Rouge, it's full coverage. It's only very small and you can see by the size of my hands. But yeah, she's coming on nicely. Although I had a bit of a nightmare because I couldn't find my ball tip needle and ended up using one which I thought would do, but it ended up being one of the sharp ones, the pointy needles, and I couldn't find the holes. I was stabbing in between the holes of the fabric, so I didn't really make that much progress in one sitting for Sally Squirrel. So I was working particularly on the white and the ivory in her, is it her stomach? Yeah, in this sort of area. So you can't really see the progress there. There you go. So that's Sally Squirrel. Once again, maybe I'll put these onto the floor. It might be a bit safer than things falling off. So the semi-finals. First semi-final was Made to Create by Caterpillar Cross Stitch and Spring Rabbit. Spring Rabbit is going to look like this when finished. Sorry about the glare. I'm trying to, there we go. So quite seasonal. So I was quite surprised it was knocked out, to be honest. And here is what Rabbit looks like now. I'm just going to try and hold something up behind me. I don't have one of those boards which a lot of FlossTubers have. If anyone's got any recommendations on things I could use as a board, then please let me know in the comments below. I'd really, really appreciate that because I've just been racking my brains on what I can use. So I'm improvising at the moment. So I worked on a lot of the greenery, the quarterfinals and the snowflake. And in the semi-finals, I did the back stitch on the snowflake. I think you can just about see that, it's so delicate. And I also worked on the outline of the first daffodil. And I think that's really coming together now. It's getting close to a finish, it really is. Yeah, absolutely love this. It's so cute. I love the bright colours. I'm not a big fan of yellow, but actually just obviously daffodils, spring, and it's just really nice at this time of year to celebrate that, isn't it? new life. And the second semi-final was Bookshelf 2023 versus Melika, the mystery Sal. Now, Melika got knocked out, which wasn't really a big surprise to me. But I've done a little bit more stitching on this. Just trying to put the project bag behind it. There we go. I've done quite a bit more stitching on this. So part 3 has just come out of the mystery Sal, so I wanted to stitch a bit more on it. I really want to try and bring this up to date before part 4 comes out in it's a week on Wednesday, so if you're watching this the week before Easter, so I think it's the Wednesday after Easter that part 4 comes out. So I want to try and bring it up to date, or at least get onto part 3, so I could do that. So parts 2 and 3 go down here, and the animal has a really long neck, or it looks like it's got a slimmer longer neck. So really interested if you think you know what the animal is, or if indeed you're stitching it as well. Please let me know, and I'll try and follow you either here on FlossTube or on Instagram. So that brings us to the final. We had Bookshelf 2023 and Made to Create. Now, when the voting was happening, immediately I thought, oh, Bookshelf is going to edge it, and at one point Bookshelf was edging about 60-40%. And then I went to bed, got up, and it was pretty much, the gap had closed significantly. But then I did a day's work, finished work, checked again, and I could not believe my eyes. It was 50% each, so it was completely tied. So I was like, oh my goodness, I can't let my son, or I've christened him Mini Stitch, Mini Stitchy, I can't let him decide the winner. So I put on a last minute plea on Instagram, please vote. And then I got a vote for, I think I got a vote for the Bookshelf, and then I got a vote for Made to Create. So then it's tying again, and I'm like, ah. But then finally I got the what do you call it, the person that actually tipped the scales by just one vote in it, and the winner, I'm pleased to say, drum roll please, is Made to Create. Now I'll put a picture up of what it will look like when finished, and here is what it looks like now. So I have been stitching the additional 2 days. So this has had, let me think, so the quarterfinals, the semi-finals, the finals, so 3 days plus an additional 2. So it's had 5 days stitching this month. So I've finished the stitches in the pattern and the hoop. I've finished the paintbrush. I've finished the bottom half of this skein of thread, and I've done a bit more of the tape measure to go along the bottom, and I've also started on the what do you call it, it's like a painter's palette, that's it, a palette. So I think this light's coming through again. So this is stitched on 28 count linen, which gives a lovely effect when complete. Let me take it out of the grime guard so you can see a little bit more of the actual full design. So again, this design is almost well, it's getting towards complete, and I've just got the sea of the palette to finish. There's two small like motifs similar to this. I think there's a pin cushion, and I can't remember what the other one is, but it's got two little motifs. Finished the tape which goes up here, and the palette, there's a lot of this sort of light blue grey in there, so that's, I'm alternating between that and the pink, because it's, I like to alternate colours, because otherwise it's just a bit of a slog to do it all at once. So I would doing that, and because it is the winner, I am going to be trying to stitch this on this a couple of times in April, but I'll tell you a bit more about my plans until it's finished. Really, I will be stitching this a couple of times a month at least, try and get this finished, because it is your winner, and it's only right that I get it finished, really. So really excited about that. Right, okay, just pop that out of the way. So in second place, a worthy runner-up, I feel. Again, I've made a lot of progress, given that I've only given it 3 days progress, 3 days stitching. I hope you can see that this one also is very, very close to a finish. Sorry, just trying to fold it up for you. Yeah, the fabric is, I've hacked a piece out, so it looks a bit, so I don't know, the sun's just gone in, so hopefully you can see enough to, that's the bookshelf as it looks. I've done a lot of, I don't know if you can see that I've done a lot of the back stitch. I have finished the back stitch on the middle shelf. I'll try and hold it up to the camera. I've finished the back stitch on the middle shelf, and I've been working on the shelf below. Now the pattern was for 50 books. I didn't quite finish 50 books. I think I only finished like 42, 43, something like that. So I've been having to be creative and use the books sparingly. So that's why there's a few gaps on the middle shelf and indeed on the shelf below. But I've worked out that I've got enough books to fill out the bottom shelf. I think I've got 7 more books to put on for the bottom shelf, so I think that should look absolutely fine. But again, I've just got a lot of back stitch to do, because for the purposes of the challenge, I didn't do the back stitch around the brown, because I just didn't think you'd see much of a change. So I was focusing on the books and the back stitch on the items on the shelf. But yeah, again, I was really enjoying that, and I'm really looking forward to getting that out later in the year when it is called up for WIP Go. I am doing WIP Go, and I've chosen 6 designs which I feel that are fairly close to a finish, to try and finish as many of those as I can this year. And for those full coverage designs, which are the frogs kissing, which I showed you earlier, to actually get them as close, or working towards a finish, towards a finish in 2027. So that's that. What I have to say is that first time doing March Stitchy Madness, absolutely loved doing it. I really thoroughly enjoyed the voting, watching other people's FlossTubes. That included Lainey Stitches, Stitch Bunny, Lauren at Stitch Bunny, Charlie Crafting with Charlie Feathers. I can't remember exactly which Charlie. I'm really sorry. I'm going to put all the details of the FlossTubes that I've been watching and Also, when I share this link in Instagram, I will tag all of those in Instagram, which I've also been voting on. So I've really enjoyed it. I'm definitely doing it again next year. I don't know, that's a long time away, so I don't actually know what that's going to look like. So really looking forward to that already. So already starting planning for 2027. Who would have thought it? So yeah, so that fantastic. So although I was doing March Madness, I was very keen that my focus piece would still get stitched on. So my focus piece is for my son, and it is called Mario Pose, which is going to look like this when complete. And also it's stitched on 25 count. Oh, it's upside down. 25 count easy grid, and it is currently at 17.85%. So there are just under 50,000 stitches in this, at 49,255. See if I can put this behind. Oh yeah, that's better. And I've stitched 8,793 stitches so far. It's full crosses, 1/1, using CXC threads. And I just absolutely love stitching on this. So I stitch on this at the weekends, so Friday through to Sunday. Although this week I stitch on Made to Create last night on Friday, so I'm really looking forward to getting back with this at the moment. And I've been working Royal Rose method, and I park, as you can see, I've been working on the glove. So try and get the glove really close. There's a lot of white there, but there's a lot of shading as well. But yeah, I'm really love how it comes together. And next month I'm hoping, well, I'll get onto the face, so there will actually be some peachy type skin of Mario, the main man himself. So this is fan art by Not Another Stitcher. She can be found on Etsy. So I know there's different feelings on fan art and license and so on, but Nintendo don't have licensed cross-stitch kits. If they did, I would have bought from them, but as they don't, I'm really thankful of some cross-stitch designers, including Not Another Stitcher, to actually come up with these patterns. It just enables me to do something special for my son, yeah, and for him to have forever, because Mario doesn't age, and I know I enjoy playing some of his games as well. I just want to say I want to complete this before 2030, and I put my sorry, I thought a needle had fallen off, I got distracted. So I put my progress on my Stitch Pal, and currently, I've checked it today, currently it says if I go at the rate I have been doing, I should finish the design, the whole thing, by the 7th of November 2029. So I'm really pleased with that. I think that would be good. And I forgot to say that I'm doing this design on the weekends because it's part of the football, I don't know, call it stitching challenge, which the Yorkshire Stitcher over on Instagram and Facebook created. So basically you stitch a number of stitches based on your football team. So my football team is Sunderland, and they have been doing exceptionally well this year, and therefore I've been required to stitch a lot of stitches. Unfortunately, I think I'm about 3 games behind, so I'm about 1,000 stitches behind. So I'm going to try and catch up. There's going to be a little break until the weekend after Easter. So I've got a couple of weekends, well, 3 weeks, I've got a couple of weekends to try and catch up as much as possible while there's no actual Premier League in the UK, in England and Wales being played. So come on, Mario, hopefully you can start to appear sort of by mid-April. So yeah, so that is Mario pose. So that's all the actual stitching to show you today. I'm going to move on to the giveaway. So as I said before, this is my 1 year FlossTube anniversary. I never thought I would get this far. I've done so many videos. I'm not actually sure the total number, so I'll work that out and I'll put it on the screen here. And yeah, I'm just been astounded by the support, and I've just loved being part of this community. So if you'd like, please click on like and subscribe. It means that it shares it wider, that other stitchers in the community can also find this post more easily and join in with this giveaway. So the giveaway is this: £10 or the equivalent of in your currency on any digital online voucher at any stitching company. So it could be anything around the world, so there's no limits. Anyone around the world can join. And what I would like you to do in the comments to be able to join is to put the word favourite, but I'm going to search FAV because I know that there's different ways of spelling it across the world. So put the name, the word favourite, so you say my favourite, and it can be supplier or one of my whips that I've shown you today. So you can put my favourite whip is, or my favourite project of yours is ... Really interested to know that. Or you can say, oh, my favourite supplier is Threads for You in the UK, or my favourite supplier is Heaven and Earth Designs or Gecko Rouge. I think all of which have the ability to order online vouchers, so a £10 voucher. So I will do that. The deadline for that is going to be, let me just check my notes, 12 noon Greenwich Mean Time on 26th of April 2026. So you've got a few weeks from when this video goes out. So I'll say that again, and I'll make sure we've got it in the text somewhere. 26th of April 2026. So I'm sorry if you're even a minute out, I've got cut somewhere, and I will be announcing that during my April review, which I'll be filming the first weekend of May, sorry. Yeah, I'm getting my dates mixed up. So really excited about that. And excitingly, if I get my subscribers up to over 200, I'm nearly there, then I will open up to 2 winners. So you've got twice the opportunity to win a prize. So if you're not subscribed already and you want to win, increase your chances by subscribing. So like and subscribe now, and I really appreciate that, and it's really exciting. So potentially I can be giving away 2 lots of £10 vouchers, but you can only win 1, so you can't win £20 worth, so 2 lots. So potentially I can be giving away to 2 people. That's what I'm trying to say. So moving on to my haul. Now this month, as you know, that I'm stitching the Melika Mystery Sal but I also obviously follow Megan Melika Designs, and I noticed that she's creating a lot of sort of sea life creatures. But when I saw this design, I just knew I had to have it. And even though I'm not really meant to be buying stuff self-imposed at the charts at the moment, however, when I saw this little guy, well, big guy, I just love the colours. They're so me. I just thought, wow. So I did purchase the chart, the digital chart, so I don't have anything physical to show you. And I am currently looking at getting some hand dyed or hand printed fabric to put them on, because I just think, yes, I could do it on white, or I could do it on a cream or a block colour, but I really wanted to do it properly, because I absolutely just love this design. And so I'm actively going out there and just looking to see different types of fabrics. I'm thinking of buying from Stitch Bunny, just because I've seen her fabrics in person and I just really love them. So I will hopefully next month in April, because today is, I forgot to say about today is the 28th of March, and yeah, so I've got a few more days of March, but hopefully in April I'll have that fabric and I'll be able to share that with you. And I'm also going to be sorting through my threads just to see what threads that I still need for that design. Not promising any new starts until after, particularly for that one, until after I've completed potentially the Melika cell. But again, it's the Stitcher's oath. No more new starts. Yeah, let's see how that goes. The other haul, I sort of touched on it, was or is a kit. I was approached by the Ukrainian designer. Now, I'm not going to try and butcher her name, but I'll put it in clear text here. But this is her logo. Sorry for the crinkling. But basically, she approached me on Instagram and said, "You've got some really lovely modern professional designs. Would you like to test one of my kits, one of my designs?" I said, yes, of course will. And she gave me the choice of 4 sort of seasonal ones. Unfortunately, 3 of them had Ukrainian words on, and I don't speak Ukrainian. I didn't understand it. But this one, what is it? Winter Solstice Blessing Yule. I just thought, okay, obviously I can understand that. Obviously it's a Christmas design. I am going to stitch it, but probably not until later in the year. But I just thought you would like to see what's inside it. And I'll try and do this without showing you the chart. And I did open this prior, so you didn't have to hear all the whistling. But it sort of stuck itself back down. So first impressions was it just looks really impressive. These are available on Amazon, so they're not coming from Ukraine. So I got it on next day delivery in the UK. And so inside it's got the cover, and I'm just being careful not to show you the actual pattern. So it's all folded up. There are instructions on how to cross stitch it. Basically it's a bookmark, so it gives you the instructions on how to make the bookmark. She's got a full range of other bookmarks. Yeah, that's the design, so I'm not going to show you that. But on the reverse, so full information with colour images on how to stitch up the bookmarks, so that's going to be really useful. And also we've got oh, 2 pieces of fabric, so I could do it twice. And also a needle. So we've got a needle in there. We've got pre-sorted threads or floss. Absolutely beautiful, bright colours, just my style. And we've got some further information on how to do the blanket stitch around the edge of the bookmark, and also a QR code. So I'd be interested to see what that is. Maybe it's a little video or digital instructions. So really excited by that. Oh, and there's one last thing in here. What does it say? Get your free embroidery kit. Right, okay, obviously I've already got a free one, but it's basically take a picture or video of the finished embroidery, upload it to your buyer account, and send us a link at needle.guru, and then you can get a free kit. So yeah, it's really nice to support small designer. Really impressed with that, actually. And given that she transferred the money for me via PayPal, so I've essentially got that for free. So I will take some other photos and share with those on social media, on my Instagram page, which is StitchySam5 on Instagram. So that's my haul. And my plans for April, I've got a stitching day on, when do I have it? I haven't put the date down. It's I think it's the 26th of April. I've got my stitchy day, and it's in Navenby by Be Stitchy Retreats. And I wondered, it's only for a day, 9 till 4, I think, or 5. I'll be there. What design should I take? I really can't decide, but I've got a few weeks to decide. But I'm going to take one of my smaller designs, possibly one that I've shown you today. So that would be really exciting. It's the first time I've done a Be Stitchy retreat. So if you're going, it's in Navenby, which is really local to me. It's only about a 20-25 minute drive for me. So if you're going, let me know, and I'll watch out for you. Come and introduce yourself. I usually have curly hair. I had my hair done last week, and had it blow dried straight. So yes, I've got a big curly mop usually. So watch out for me if you're attending there, and yeah, let me know what you think I should take. Now, also plans of WIP Go, pulled 3 numbers this month, and so my regular charts designs is Sally Squirrel, so I'll get her out again. She really deserved a little bit more love than what she got in March Madness. And also Spring Rabbit, so possibly a finish, but I'm not going to commit to anything, because I want to try and what I really enjoyed with March Madness is the fact that I never thought I'd feel comfortable switching designs that often, but I really have. So I want to try and stitch some more varied different stitches, and I'm showing you more designs at the end of the month. And also, so with that in mind, I'm going to be stitching some of my other WIPs, which are on this wheel. And I'd already selected in February Blossoming Hedgehog, but I just didn't get the time to to stitch on it then. So I'm going to be stitching at least a day, a few hours on Blossoming Hedgehog, but also I'm going to insert a video here what a surprise. I've been watching a lot of Melanie makes FlossTube recently, and I've absolutely been adoring her progress on Lakeside Village and thinking I really want to stitch mine. And it seems that the universe has answered, and as you've just seen, my second WIP that I'm going to be stitching on is Lakeside Village. So I'm really excited about that. Now she's gone across, I'm showing you a picture of where my progress is on currently on that. Here I'm really concerned. I'm worried about that. I've done a dead stop, and that's through experience. When I first started stitching this many moons ago, I just thought I'll just stitch it to a page, but Melanie, she's stitched all of the buildings across, so we're not going to have like a line. I'm going to do that, and fingers crossed I don't have a noticeable line once it's washed and ironed and all the rest of it, because I'm fed up with that water at the moment at the bottom. So I'm going to stitch across into the other colourful buildings, and maybe alternate between stitching sessions, do a bit of water, do a bit of buildings. So I'm really excited about that. So yeah, so I've been wanting to stitch that one, and yeah, so Melanie, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing yours progress, and hope you enjoy my progress too. So in addition to those, I've sort of hinted that I want to catch up with my 2 sales as much as possible, because the Hello Holly, I'm only on part 2, and obviously we're doing 1 a month. So from Wednesday, from the 1st, it's gonna be part 4. So I've got quite a bit of catching up there, but part 3 is quite a small part, so I might be able to do that, but the Melika one is my priority to get stitched up. I'm really enjoying that one in particularly. So yeah, so that's a jam-packed April, a bit more variety in my stitching, and continuing that on. And of course, Made to Create, I am going to work on that regularly, at least once or twice a month until that's complete. So really excited. And actually March Stitchy Madness has shown me how many of my WIPs are actually really close to completing. So Spring Rabbit also was picked on the WIP Go, and Love Spring, which just needs the beads on. So I've got some time off next week, so I'm going to wash my piece, iron it, and finally get those beads on. It's not my favourite task to do, but hopefully that will be a finish. I'm going to pledge to you now, please hold me to account. So if you've enjoyed my video, I said it before, please like and subscribe. Every time I get that or comment, it just lifts my spirits and makes this process all the worth the while. So really appreciate that. Happy spring and happy stitching.